introduce you to Akthar Badshah. He is an expert on social impact, philanthropy, CSR, and international development, and also an author and an artist. He is the founder and chief catalyst of the Catalytic Innovators Group, a new consulting practice focused on accelerating social impact through catalytic innovation. He teaches at Washington School of Business and Evans School of Public Policy and Governance. Akthar is going to walk us through a workshop together about building our purpose-driven lives, and I'm so excited to have him here with us today. And Akthar, we'll turn it over to you.
Olivia, thank you so much. And wow, Gretchen, you were just phenomenal in how you set us up to do this exercise in discovering our purpose, our strengths, our values, and how to constantly apply it. As Gretchen mentioned, let's take the first step together. This is the value Women in Cloud provides to all of us. I just love what Women in the Cloud does. This group, this community, this movement has transformed how we all think about collectively bringing about change, and change in our personal lives, and change in our community, and change through our work. So with that, let me just say a few words, and then we'll do this collaborative exercise, and hopefully that will put us on a path of even being much bigger force than what Women in the Cloud already is. So next slide, please. So Leo Rothstein, who is a humorist, screenwriter, political scientist, gave this quote, and I just love it. I cannot believe that the purpose of life is to be happy. Yes, we should all have fun. We should all have joy. We should all have happy. And we should all be happy, but that should not be the only thing. I think the purpose of life is to be useful, to be responsible, to be compassionate. It is about all to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have made some difference that you have lived at all. And I think that is what Gretchen was saying. What are we doing? What do we bring to the table? Next, please. And the reason why this is important is we are seeing over the last 2 years that there is this enormous angst with the pandemic. We've all been impacted, every single one of them, every single one of us. Gretchen just shared her personal story, but within trying to discover meaning in our work and in our life, and people are leaving their workforce in search of that. But what is also important is that unless you have clearly identified your strengths, your values, and your purpose, wherever else you go, you will still not be able to discover that. So what we are hoping to do today is collectively do that. Next, please. And purpose is the why. It is the soul of why you exist. And purpose is not a choice. It can be experienced every day in every job. A barista has a purpose. A custodian in a school has a purpose. A orderly in a hospital has a purpose. A CEO of a company may not have purpose. So how do we ensure that we all have purpose? Next, please. We've all kind of been living in this world of a growth mindset, and that is important. Right? Growth allows us to continuously grow, discover new challenges, apply ourselves in the most effective way, but it is a duality between you and your work. What we want to move towards today is to introduce the trinity of the community. Why? Why is that growth? It's for individual growth, it's for work growth, but it is also to have a positive impact on our community. And in my book, Purpose Mindset, I have articulated 5 principles, and I'll just very quickly share, and after that we will do this workshop. Next slide, please. And the first thing is that one must discover and work from our strengths. We are constantly being asked to improve, which doesn't mean we don't improve, but it's not about fixing things. It is about discovering things. Humans are not a problem to be solved, it is a mystery to be embraced. Discover your strengths. Neuroscience actually says our brain works much better when we focus on our strengths than on our weaknesses. So, first, discover your strengths. Second, put on the lens of abundance. Take that first step. That first small step will lead to additional resources and you will continue to grow. WIC is that. It started with nothing but an idea and a group of women who were committed and purposeful to create a movement. Third, it is not about the efficiency of the work that you do, it is the effectiveness of what you have done. Fourth, ignite a movement. We are no longer in the age of organizations, we create movements. Women in the Cloud is a movement, and that requires a different skill set. It is not about managing, it is about being a conductor, it is synchronizing. And eventually, you have to be on that path, a journey from generosity to empathy to compassion. And in doing so, we are constantly then moving from the focus on the me to the we and the common good. Next slide, please. I've talked about these 5 principles, so we're just going to keep going forward. Next, please. So, once again, purpose isn't a cause, it's not a revelation, it's not a luxury, it's a choice. Purpose builds bridging networks, it allows us to connect between people that we may not have any similarities to or agree on things with. Purpose allows us to do that. Again, ignite movements. It is about synchronizing rather than managing. And then purpose is not about who you want to be, it is about who you want to serve. And service is a journey that we need to be on constantly. So keep this in mind. What we are now going to do is I'm going to do a 10-minute exercise with you so that you will go through a opportunity to discover your strengths, your values, and can you please put the link in the chat so people can have access to this form? And what I want you to do is to open up the link, and there are put in your email, your word, your name, and then there are 20 words that reflect strengths. And we want you to choose 3. There's also another category called other. If none of these words resonate with you, you can write your own 3 words that are your strengths: achieve, activator, adaptable, analytical, wisdom, work under pressure, tolerant. So just do that. Don't overthink it. I know it is hard. And of course, we have more than 3 strengths, but this is just zeroing in to what is your core strengths. Hopefully, everybody has been able to open up the form. If people can just put a thumbs up. Thank you. So 2 minutes, select the 20 words, or write up your own word. And once you do that, please give me a signal and then we will move one step below in that form. Again, 3 strengths. And Aaron, thank you very much. For those that have completed the 3 strengths, please feel free to share it in the chat so that we can see. Colleen, you're brilliant. Colleen gets a WIC badge from Chaitra for being the first one. Now that people have actually completed their 3 strengths, go one step below in the form and you will see values, and you will see 20 other words. These are your deep-seated values. And what we want you to do is to select, again, 3. And then there is a other there too, for if you want to put on another word. Karen, thank you very much. Adaptable, open-minded, achiever. Aaron, activator, enthusiastic, open-minded. Dina, analytical, learner, work under pressure. Cassidy has gone through the whole form and also filled out her purpose statement. We'll come to that. Cassidy, that's terrific. My purpose is to help other people who have been bullied or looked down upon throughout the years. This is amazing. Becky Fromm, enthusiastic, visionary, activator. If you finished your foundational values, you can start putting that in. I see empathy, gratitude from Gabriella. Douglas has empathy, family, gratitude. So once you've kind of finished these 2, what I want you to do is to now craft a purpose statement for yourself. A purpose statement is what you want to see, the impact you want to achieve. Can we go back to the previous slide, please? Yeah, what you want to do, which is your values. I mean, what you want to see, which is impact, why you want to do this, which is your values, and how you want to do this, which is your strengths. So write a short purpose statement. Some have already done so. And what you will get after you've completed all of this, and now we can show them the next slide, is a completed form emailed to you so that you know your strengths, your values, and your purpose statement. And then I'm going to come back and say how, as a group, we are going to use it. So take a couple of minutes to write this down, and I'm already seeing purpose statements coming in. I nurture my justice journeys, claim my version of femininity, live in alignment with my values, dive into nature, create my own belonging circles, and embrace empathy. Wow. My purpose is to build capacity of MSMEs and healthcare workers to render equality and become more sustainable by consulting and training. Once you've completed your purpose statements, then you can hit submit. We will get that, and then we will send you this completed form. What I want to, and I'm now making commitments on behalf of Chaitra. She's going to really scream at me, but then what the heck? I like being screamed at. I'm actually riffing simply because of what Gretchen said, that she has her 30-day challenge. I actually want us to have a challenge for a year. What I want you to do, and Chaitra and I will figure out how we can keep you all motivated, for every month, send us a note how you utilize your strengths, your values, and your purpose. And every time you send us one, you will get a badge. We will collect all of these and see how collectively WIC is having an impact in the world. I want to make sure that we all earn our badges, and then we'll be able to share the stories. We will collect stories from you. We will build communities. We can build small groups of practitioners, of these communities of practice that are taking this work forward. So let's take on this challenge of ensuring that every month we are focused on our strengths, our values, our foundational, our purpose statements to change the world, to make this world a better place. This is your power. This is our collective power. And with that, we can start finding joy through our purpose, through who we serve, not just what we do. And that is really what Women in the Cloud is all about. So, with that, I would like to just get a few of you to just share, to give us feedback in terms of this whole exercise. I'm just reading these purpose statements, but my purpose is to help others to develop and deepen their skills, to increase their confidence and capabilities by serving as a compassionate leader in learning and enablement. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, raise your hands or come onto the stage. Just share with us, you know, your journey, what journey you want to be on, and how are you going to derive happiness and purpose.
I think this is so important. And I think it's something that when I was still in tech, I felt like I wasn't allowed to do. And so I really love that we're bringing this into the world and combining it with the mindset that we have in tech and being able to move it forward. And I think it's so important to go through the steps that you did. Like, what are we both good at and enjoy doing, not just what we're good at. So what are our strengths that we really want to lean into? And then getting into our values. And for a lot of people, myself included, it's really hard to pick only 3. And the power of picking 3 is huge. So I really appreciate the process that you went through and the impact that it has when we actually lean into paying attention to these things and how that can change everything about how we approach life and how we switch to a be, do, have way of looking at things, where who we are and our essence, our being comes first, and then what we do and what we have flows out of that. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I mean, there is a question here from Beenal, which I think is really very important. How do you know what impact is? So Beenal, each one of us, which is why I think articulating your strengths and values is so important, right? That's what drives you. Now, how do you apply that in everything that you do? In your personal, every day when you wake up, how am I going to use at least one of my strengths, even for 5 minutes? And what is it doing? Right? We don't have to be world changers every time. Right? Just smiling at somebody is an impact. Your face lights up, your eyes shine, their face lights up. I go on a walk every day. There are so many people who just pass by me. There are others who just smile at me. And I remember that smile throughout the day. That is impact. Right? So we don't have to really look at impact as something huge and enormous. But collectively, just think. The large Women in the Cloud community, if every day, every single one of us just said hello to somebody that we didn't know and smiled at them, how different this world would be. And again, Colleen, it doesn't need to be believable and achievable. It is aspirational and it will change, right? Your values change, your strengths change. We evolve as humans. I do this with my students who are undergrads at the University of Washington. When they reach my age, it will be very different. Right? So this is not, but every single thing that we do, if we do it with joy, with purpose, and our own values and strengths, then we make a difference. We make a difference to the community, we make a difference to ourselves, we make a difference in our work. We derive joy in our work. Every single day that what you do is not going to give you joy. But if you do it in a way that you're applying your values and your strengths, it gets reflected in your purpose. Any other thoughts? Please come on stage. We have a few more minutes. There's 4 minutes. I love it, Akila. One of the greatest purposes is to find a gem in the person you're with, polish it, and give it back to them. Yes. Anybody else that wants to come on stage and share a few words? We are all part of a family. This is, the big family.
Hello.
Hi, Akila.
Um, I just wanted to say that part of my journey to my purpose, I used to be a financial advisor because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. And I thought money would be the best way to do that because it touches everything we do. And then I found in working with people over 17 years that there was something that was even more important, and that was the source of their income. When people came to me and it was 5 years before retirement and they're crossing off each day, it was an indication that there was something very, very wrong. So now my purpose is to help organizations, to help employees within organizations have a life that they are feeling fulfilled. And when they are feeling fulfilled and engaged, that company is also more successful. It's something I called mutually, what's that called? It's being mutually beneficial economics for both parties.
Correct. It's a win-win.
Yes.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Akila. Actually, when you look at people, they're in this journey, and you can divide people up into 3 parts. People who are driven by purpose, people who are driven by money, people who are driven by status. And neither one of them is a value judgment. It's just at different times in your life. But at all times, if you can have purpose as your secondary driver for those that are driven by wealth and status, you're making a difference. And eventually, at some point, it will become your primary driver. So really great point, Akila, that you are mentioning. Wolf wanted to come on stage. Can somebody bring him on stage, please? Wolf?
Hello.
Hi.
So I agree the importance of focus and underlining your purpose. And I agree with Cindy that it is hard to do. I had the advantage. I did a similar exercise before that went a little bit slower. So they started out, reduce it to 10, then reduce it to 3, and then reduce it to 1, which was the core strengths. And mine turned out to be fairness. Everybody deserves a chance and an opportunity. And to me, that underlines everything, and everything flows from that. And so my current purpose, the one I'm working on, is to introduce girls to tech so they can have a better future through fun and exciting stories, because it starts with mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, if you don't believe that you belong there, you're not going to even start.
Absolutely. No, and Wolf, when I do this exercises for companies and organizations, I actually have 80 words for people to work through, and I take them through 12 to 8 to 5 to 3, and it takes a while for people to actually get through this. But we've also found that we've now done this with over thousands of folks online in a very shortened version, and we get the same result. Correct. It depends on, it is supposed to be tough, but it's supposed to be fun. So thank you all very much. I know that we are at time, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity. Chaitra and I are going to put our heads together, but I really want you to just take one thing from this. I'll say two things. One, humans are not a problem to be solved. They're a mystery to be embraced. Embrace the person you are with. Don't try and solve them. Two, it's not who we want to be. It is who we want to serve. Let's take this 12 months. When we come back next January, we want to get stories from all of you of how you have applied your purpose, your values, and your strengths. Let's do that as a community. We can make this world a better place. Thank you all so very much.
Akthar, thank you. That was such an incredible workshop. I know I learned a lot, and it looked like our attendees were really getting into it and hopefully learning a lot about themselves too. So that was very, very, very powerful. And I thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your framework with us.
Thank you. Have fun, everybody. You got a great rest of the session where you can apply all of this. Take care. Thank you.